It's just a quick video to kind of demonstrate the free viewer software that we can use to look at models once they are in development, or between structural engineering and myself, and going to kind of show in this video. So basically, here's my contact information, but then below here are the instructions on how to download. And if you're a client of mine or an associate, I'll send you this email with the instructions and the link. And you just want to make sure that you uncheck the subscription buttons at the bottom so you don't end up getting newsletters you don't want. Once you've done this and we've shared the model, usually be a Dropbox because they are large, then we will go into the Chief Viewer software. And the Chief Viewer software is pretty cool. So here, I'm going to just kind of do a quick show of progress plan that's in progress. So this is one level, and you can switch your levels down the basement. You can go up another level. And in any of those levels, you can hit this camera and do a perspective full overview. And this roof is in progress, so it's not exactly clean. There's a couple things in here that still need to be corrected. Got a nodule there. Got a roof that's going in the wrong direction up here. It's on auto build, and so still working on some design details to do with this plan at this point in time, including a hole in the wall. So, but one of the things that is kind of cool about this software, and you won't be able to move as smooth as I'm moving because I'm using a space mouse, which is a pretty neat device, but you can switch your rendering technique. So we're going to see a vector view over to a less realistic view, but it gives stronger lines to find errors, and sometimes framing is really good to see through that. This is a glass house view, so you can kind of see through it and see what's going on the inside, walls and such. And where we can do some of the other things. I'm not as familiar with this as the full program, but you can get rid of a side, see what's under that, see what's under that, and just keep hitting it. There's the two layers of insulation, then the drywall, or sheeting, sorry, and then we can start getting into where you'd actually start seeing drywall, and then inside the rooms. And you can go through that way, or you can just walk into the house and walk around. You won't be able to walk quite this fast or quite this easily, but you can completely walk through the design and see what's going on. But one of the things that's really nice for when I'm working with my structural engineer, or even when I'm doing my own structure, just for my own sake of seeing how the layout's going, is I'll come back to this camera and then hit this framing full overview, and it will create another view. And this is just the framing. It doesn't have the pillars and stuff are not in here yet. And this green is just a batting that goes over the framing to hold the insulation, the exterior insulation in place. And then the true framing is below that. But it even gets into the details of, oh, this one's not showing it. So how would you control layers? So one thing that's curious about what I'm seeing in this free viewer is right here we should see all of the trusses, and I'm not. I'll have to look into that with Chief a little bit, see why I'm not seeing that sort of stuff. Because when I'm in my full viewer, I can actually see all of the floor framing, and it looks like the floor framing is not showing up here, and I don't have the layer control in here that I see in order. Oh, display options. So here we go. So if I come down here, go to the framing stuff, then trusses, floor trusses, says they're on. And it says they're displayed, so I'm not sure why it's not displayed unless I didn't frame it in the actual model. Let me take a look at that. So I am surprised to see that I'm in my full version. Let me shrink this down a little bit. So it's just on one part of the screen. To where you can see. So this is my full version. It's not the free viewer. And when I'm in the full version, I have my layer display, so I can just turn those off. But you can see I've got floor trusses in here. So I'll talk to Chief about that and see why I can't see that. So like I go into the basement, I'll get my floor trusses, my headers are showing, all that sort of stuff is in here. And if I switch over to that free viewer version, down in the basement, I've got the headers, but I'm missing the floor trusses. And I didn't see anything in layer controls that allows me to turn that on. So I'll see what I can get out of that. If not, push comes to shove, you can always ask me for some information and say, hey, can you walk through this area? I'll make a quick video such as this and walk exactly around where you'd like me to, you know, up and out the back. How does all that work? And then we're on the second level, looking around at the garage and how this lays out, and then the open below area, and basically just how things are laid out. So I have not framed the roof on this yet because I haven't got the roof working correctly, so I haven't bothered to frame it. But at any rate, that is what I'm showing that you guys can do using this free viewer. And of course it would be just slightly different because it will be this viewer. So everything except it looks like the floor framing is there. I'll see what I can figure out about that. So that's what we've got for this free viewer software, and you can look at it for those who are clients, not the engineers. Then you can come through and walk through the house and see how things are coming. And I mean, this can obviously have some relevance to even the framer to see what we're, or the engineer to see what we're after as far as the final look and how we want things to work. And I'm missing a wall here. So this is still a design in progress, but wanted to show how the viewer can be used. So that's it for now. Thank you. This is Mark Farrar with Not Square Design. Go back to the beginning of the video if you need contact information. Bye now.